The following is a paid advertisement. The views expressed are the sole responsibility of the advertiser.
I'm attorney Justin Clark. Coming up just ahead on You Have Real Estate, we hear that property taxes are going away. Is that true? Also, the solar tax credit, could that also be going away? It's all just ahead. It's You Have Real Estate. Welcome to You Have Real Estate, brought to you by Renewal by Andersen. I am your host, Justin Clark. A great show ahead for you today, but first, the opening statement. Before the opening statement, my commitment to you always is this real estate market is changing, and it's changing very quickly. You need to know what your house is worth. If you're thinking about selling your house, we've created a system here that is not one that trusts these websites. This is a local real estate agent who will come tell you what your house is worth to help you decide if you are going to sell your home. The phone number is on the screen, 407-205-0400. Now, the opening statement. All right, look, this is not a political show at all. I was talking to someone before the show and they said maybe we should be more political, but we're not. This is broadcast television. We're going to keep it down the middle. We all have our feelings. We'll keep it down the middle. But we keep hearing now about we're going to get rid of your property taxes. What does that mean? Can we do that? Does that make any sense? We'll talk about that with a great guest. Seminole County Tax Collector J.R. Kroll will be here. Also, a blast from the past. Stephen Bator, IQ Power Solar, is going to be here to talk about also taxes. The whole, you get tax credit if you go solar. What is going on with the solar tax credit? Excellent questions that we're going to answer by asking real questions. Every weekend here on the program, we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate community. The guy I voted for, the guy I love, the guy who's doing a great job in Seminole County, the tax collector, J.R. Kroll is here. J.R., how are you, buddy?
Pretty good.
First of all, you know we love you. Consider you a friend more than anything, but I know you've been going through some stuff the last couple weeks. I just want you to know that we're thinking about you, and
thank you.
I know it's hard, but thank you for being here anyway.
No, thank you.
So, all right, we're going to get rid of property taxes, I guess. What does that mean?
Well, I don't know if that's going to happen. Unfortunately, the governor came out and made that statement. Wants to get rid of property taxes, and the problem is where does the money come from? Because there was no other avenue to where we can get that amount of money. You can't raise the sales tax that high because it would really kill the economy of Florida. You can't put it on the tourist tax. That'll kill tourism. There's all these problems that could come in. So really, I don't know a better plan, and I don't think anybody else has come up with anything better that would really work.
Yeah. What does the tax collector do, actually? I mean, do you come up with what the property taxes are?
No, we don't at all. We don't do anything. The millage rate is determined by Seminole County commissioners. And the city, then the municipalities decide on that millage rate, which would say is kind of a percentage, you would say, of what the value. And then, of course, the property value is determined by the property appraiser. They come together with those numbers, and then I'm just a bill collector. So yeah. I have no say at how it's done.
But speaking of property taxes and taxes in general, I think that you have a budget, of course. Any sort of constitutional officer in any county in Florida has a budget. How important is it to you, to the residents of Seminole County, to keep your budget somewhat under control?
We typically are under budget about $2 million every year.
Really?
Yeah, we never run our budget. We always have big grandiose plans of what we want to get done, and then it just doesn't happen. It's too short of a year because my office has to zero out to every year. So if we don't get it done, whatever's left over in my budget and whatever's left as our excess revenue, we turn that back to the county for them to distribute among all the municipalities.
If you have that much left over, I would give Eddie McDougal a raise if I were you. What do you think? I think Eddie needs a raise.
You might tune in.
You owe me, Eddie. How does the tax collector's office work hand in hand, or how does it work together with the county commissioners?
Well, we're a separate constitutional office, so just like all the other 5 constitutionals, we don't have anything. We pretty much have the least to do with the county commissioners because my budget doesn't come from the county commission. Yeah. We generate revenue. All the other offices have to get a budget approved and getting the money from the county commissioners.
I gotcha. So is it property tax that you collect and taxes on things like automobiles?
We collect when you buy a car because we do run the DMV also. So with that, yes, we collect that, but that's turned right over to the state. We don't get anything from that, or it doesn't go through the county commission. Really, it's just going to be your tangible property, your intangible property, your property tax, things such like that will come what we collect on.
Your story is a good one, obviously. You came from the real estate world. That's really how we first knew you, and then elected, of course, to the tax collector's office. How do you think that running your own business and knowing the real estate world helped you prepare to be the tax collector?
Well, it's a lot more zeros when you're dealing with government. So kind of, always just take off a couple zeros and kind of think of it as a normal level. Because let's say if you have two guys that go to a casino, one guy makes 100,000 and the other guy makes 10 million. If they do 1% of their salary, the first guy, 100,000, loses $1,000 at the casino, he's still going to go home with $99,000 and be okay for the rest of his year. The guy with the 10 million could spend 100,000 to be the 1% of his salary, and he's still going to go home and be fine for his year. So it's just knowing how those numbers are such big numbers, and then when you get to like my office is like 13 million a year, the county has $1 billion. So you're adding another zero. So those are really big numbers to deal with.
Yeah, when people start talking about getting their tags for their cars or whatever, oftentimes I think they would rather go to the dentist for root canals. Because you think the government doesn't really care about customer service. When I deal with the tax collector's office in Seminole County, I get the sense that you do care about customer service.
Well, we do. I mean, that's part of what makes it great in Florida, because very few states do it this way, to where you have an elected official that's actually running the DMV. That's usually the way Florida used to be, where everyone said it was terrible to go to the DMV. Well, now there's accountability. If people don't my job is always, I want to keep those lines low. Those times I want down, down, down. That's what we push on so hard. And trying to get that with efficiency of software and stuff that we can do, and queuing systems to try to make it a better experience for people of Seminole County.
Yeah, awesome. J.R. Kroll, always a pleasure to see you, brother.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks. You're Seminole County tax collector, making your line short there. You don't have to vote for him for a while. You've got, 3 more years or so?
A little over 3 years.
You've got some time here. But if you have any questions about the tax collector's office, he has a great website as well. Here's what we'll do, a very quick break. When we return, Viv's in your neighborhood. It's a city I call it southwest Volusia County, a city that's really growing a lot. Also, you're thinking about solar. What is going on with the tax credits as you have real estate continue? Welcome to our house. I mean, you spend more time here than I do, but it is hurricane season. You know our windows are terrible.
Yeah.
When hurricanes roll through, we actually go to your parents' house because we feel safer there, because you don't feel the wind vibration. Go feel the windows right now. Hit the windows like that.
Okay.
This is not a window.
No,
that
and
it should
I mean,
ever
there's
be relied
condensation
upon
from just our sprinkler.
But during a storm like that, you
Water's
wonder why you
coming
feel the
through.
vibrations. Even when a summer storm rolls through, we feel the vibrations here. That's why Dan Brigman is here today, Renewal by Anderson. Dan, as a man, I want to feel like I have a safe, protected place for my family. And I don't here. I'm not ready for hurricane season because of the windows that we have. What can I do as a family guy to make sure my family's safe during the storm season?
Well, first thing you have to do is you got to do what, you've got to inspect your windows. You've got to know and learn about what you have. And Justin, what you have is not a hurricane window. That's not going to stop anything from coming in this house. If a shingle or a terracotta tile were to blow off in your next door neighbor's house in a windstorm and hit that, and you're sitting at this table, it is not a good day. All right, it is coming through. So what we have to do is we have to get coastal windows in this house, and we have to get them in as soon as we can.
I totally agree. The financing that you have too is fantastic. You make it super easy for me to afford windows in my house.
Yes, we do. Look, we know that no home improvement project is cheap, right? I mean, most of us just don't carry, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 around in our pocket, right? And so what you have to do is you have to make it affordable for our homeowners, and that's just what we do through our easy pay plans. We have multiple different ways that we do business. We have 12 months no interest, 18 months, 24 months. We even have 180-month low interest plans. Some of them as low as 5.9. You can't even buy a house.
You can't. Not even close. Thank you, Dan, for coming, by the way. Do you feel better?
I do.
Are you going to stop yelling at me?
I mean, Dan's here, so Dan's going to save the day. RBA is always going to save the day.
Renewal by Anderson, QR code on the screen right now. Get your family prepared for hurricane season in storm season. Even if the hurricane doesn't come through, the storm season gets scary here in Florida as well. Do it today. If you own property in the Villages and you want to rent the property, or you have family who's looking to rent property in the Villages, trying to figure out where they want to buy, there's a great website designed just for you. It's villagershomesforrent.com. The person behind all this madness, Judy, is here. Judy, you're changing the game on how rentals are done in the Villages.
Right. So we are purely an owner-managed website, meaning that the owners are handling the affairs themselves. The renters are talking directly to a homeowner who is an expert with their property. The owners are paying me a small fee to advertise on the platform, and we're attracting the renters to the site for them. So it's a good synergy of owner-renter communication.
The Villages is really on fire and a wonderful place to live. For someone who hasn't been there, how would you describe the Villages?
It's promoted heavily as a lifestyles place, and I can't make it better than that, right? So if you're golfers or if you're into sports and clubs and entertainment and music, it's the place to be.
And the website is the place to go. Again, if you own real estate in the Villages, you want to rent it out, it's not going to cost you very much money at all. Or maybe you have family who wants to move to Florida or spend some seasons down here. Villagershomesforrent.com. Judy, thank you so much. Come back and see you soon, please.
We will.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm in Orange City, Florida today. It's a northern suburb of Orlando with a population of about 14,000. The city has a historical connection to the orange industry. My educated guess is that it was named for the vast orange groves that once thrived here. It offers a mix of urban and suburban living, and part of its charm is its proximity to Blue Springs State Park, home to a freshwater spring where you can float, paddle, or just melt into the water like a popsicle in July. I'm a diver, and I had the opportunity to dive this clear water locale when I got certified, and it's something I would highly recommend. It's known for its public schools and affordable housing and attracts young families and retirees alike, since the cost of living is slightly lower than the national average. The median household income is about $55,000. The median home value in 2024 was $309,000. Fun-ish fact. Mother Nature had a meltdown in 1894 and wiped out the orange groves, impacting the city's economy. Yet, out of misfortune comes opportunity. And though the city's history is tied to the orange industry, it is also known for water bottling. And Orange City water is shipped nationally and internationally. I heard John Rockefeller had it shipped to him because he liked to bathe in it. You don't have to go diving to see our beloved manatees. It's actually known for being one of the best places to view these adorable water potatoes during what us Floridians think is cold weather. When you're done viewing the manatees, stop by Blue Springs Brewery and enjoy a pint and their pizza. If you'd like more information on this area, call me, Vivian Lehman, at 407-205-0400.
Great job, Vivian, as always. That was especially a good segment, I think. And Blue Springs Brewing, what a great place. Go check it out when you're in Orange City, or it's worth a trip, I think, to Southwest Volusia County to go check it out. It's been a while since we've had this gentleman who makes me feel short on the show. He runs IQ Power Solar. His name is Stephen Bator. Steve, welcome back, man. What's up?
Good to see you.
Long time. How you been?
Good, man. Long time.
Talk to me, and we're talking about taxes today a little bit. Talk to me about the tax credit. We've done the show together so many times, and we'd always say, well, if you get solar, you get a tax credit. I heard that might be ending.
Yeah, with the new big, beautiful bill, the tax credit's going to be ending this year. The most important thing to note is that the system has to be installed and commissioned by December 31st, which is a bit different than people are accustomed to, because you can't just have a contract dated 12/30, 12/31. And commissioned means that you have to have it installed, passed inspection, and you have to have the interconnection through the utility company, which is going to be problematic. So you should probably get solar easily in October at the latest.
So we sit here now very early August. How long does this process normally take? Because we must be getting close then to getting through that whole process.
Yeah, we are. Traditionally, it would take 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But what happens now, just like it happened, the last time there was a threat of it ending, a lot of companies start to apply for permits at the same time. So what really happens is the permit office gets backed up. even if a company does 1 or 2 installs a month and they have installers ready to go, it's still going to take them longer because a permit that used to take 1 week, it's going to take 3. And then what really happens going into November is the utility companies get backed up with the interconnection with the meter, the two-way meter. So you're looking at 2 different backups that probably chip away at 9 weeks. So I think the average install time is going to be 8 weeks minimum.
So the time is now. I mean, the time really would be now to make sure you get it commissioned. And I'm glad you told me what commission means because I had no idea. I was going to have to ask anyway. You got to do it now.
And the reason I mention that is because I want to make sure that consumers are understanding the proper protocol, right? Because it's easy for a sales guy to go in there and tell them, oh no, as long as you buy it. But I don't want consumers to make that mistake and they purchase it and then they don't get the system commission till January and then they don't get the tax credit and the solar guy's in the wind. Yeah. So I just want to make sure, my primary focus is to educate the consumer and make sure that the transaction is transparent and people are critical of the timeline.
Speaking of the consumer, I think solar's gotten a bad rap the last couple of years because I think that there have been a lot of overzealous salespeople, not with you guys, thankfully, but with some of these solar companies who have just overpromised and under-delivered. How have you policed your team against that?
Well, I like to think that all solar sales guys are good guys just trying to make a living, that they're excited about it. And you know how I feel about a handful of the tactics, the door knocking, the aggressive sales tactics, the abundant cash back. But it's really simple, right? We don't door knock. We have leads. We're blessed enough to have been around for almost 15 years now. We have a lot of inbound calls. But it's really just about, when having a proper pricing structure, our sales guys can't go in and just charge whatever they want. I don't know if you know this, but most people operate on a red line or PAR system, where a salesman makes an agreement that they're going to pay X for the system. And if they sell for 30 or 40, they keep the difference. That creates the moral hazard, right? I think if you tell most people that are 25, anxious, working hard, that if you bump it an extra $5,000, it's yours, that's going to happen. So we don't do that. We don't allow our salespeople to dictate the price. We don't have any relationships, any red line relationships where we have a sales model and we just install. So, which is difficult because we get offers all the time where we know we can take on an extra 5-10 installs a week, but we just stay focused on the fact that we're a service model and we're here for the long term.
What about the people out there who have gotten solar in the last few years and they have panels that are just sitting on their roof and they don't know what to do? And they're not working, by the way.
Well, we created a really cool program because most of our service model calls now are calls saying, hey, we had this system installed recently. The company isn't around or the sales guy's not answering my call. And the first thing we do is to say, okay, what kind of system do you have? They don't know. So we have a simple thing where we go out and do a service call. We evaluate your system. We give you a report. And then we can, of course, help service that in the future. And that's our primary model now. So, of course, we still do installs. Yeah. 10, 15 installs a month, but it's nothing that we don't go out and seek them. We still have customers we sold 10 years ago that moved and are getting new systems from us. But if you're out there and have solar and you don't really know what to do next, or we can help you out. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Stephen Bator, IQ Power Solar, good to see you, man. And if you do have a solar system and you feel like it's not producing enough and your electricity bill is still super high or it's just not working, call IQ Power Solar today. A quick break. You have real estate continued.
Can you believe we're planning a wedding?
I mean, I'm excited about it. It's a lot. Guest list, cake tastings, figuring out what we're going to have for dinner. Is it chicken, fish, one of the above? The vegetarian options, AC units.
Yeah, speaking of new AC units, new season of life might mean it's time for a new air conditioning unit. And with Duquesne, they actually just came out with this new refrigerant, which is actually more efficient.
Getting married is a little bit complicated, actually. But I got to tell you, the AC and making sure that the family here is comfortable, not as complicated as a wedding, that's for sure.
No, and with Duquesne, it's not just about reliable products. It's knowing that you can really trust your system, just like a good marriage built on trust.
Well, I think trust is very important, especially here in Florida. Trusting your AC unit is incredibly important because you walk into a house, it's 100-something degrees outside. You want to make sure that your AC unit is working perfectly so you're comfortable inside.
Yeah, so definitely do your homework because Duquesne has that new AC unit, really just kind of something more efficient, something more user-friendly, and the new coolant, man, that's a game changer.
And do you want to have an outdoor wedding this time of
No,
year?
it's so hot. I mean, and one of the best things about it being hot in Florida is we can fall in love with our home again because we have the new AC unit.
Just like I fell in love with you. And now we're getting married.
I know.
And quite frankly, we should have the wedding inside here at our house.
Because it's nice and cool.
It feels great in here.
Yes, well, thanks, Duquesne. We definitely love you and we love our home. And now that it's cool, and I love you too.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. A lot of the time, let's say.
Yeah. Well, do yourself a favor and look no further than Duquesne.
Welcome back to the show. We were talking about taxes earlier and how this whole property tax thing, they're probably not going to go away. I think we need some type of property tax, but taxes do make up your payment. When you go to buy a house, you're going to look at a payment, PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. But the biggest part of that payment is the PI, the principal and interest. I'd like to welcome to the show my good friend Elisha Lopez, Ocala Realty World. How are you?
Good.
The PI is made up of how much your loan is, right? That's the principal and interest. And the loan is obviously made up of how much you paid for the house and the down payment. Ocala and northern Florida, and I was just talking to a friend of mine yesterday in Levy County, by the way. I got so excited when he told me he moved there. The properties are just less. You can buy a house for less in northern Florida than you can here in Orlando. What is the difference right now?
It's still between 43 and like 46, 47%. Just it fluctuates a little depending on neighborhood, but it's also because of the taxes. I think Marion County is about number 3 for the lowest taxes in Florida still. Even
really?
Though,
See, I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
For property taxes?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
Even though they've gone up, of course, like everything, but they're still low compared to the average for the whole state.
And so everyone talks about PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, but another component of your monthly expenses, and especially in Central Florida, is the HOA fee as well. That's not normally paid through the mortgage, it's paid separately, but that's part of your monthly expenses. HOA fees here, even for a house now, can be $300-400 a quarter. An apartment or a condo, $500 a month sometimes.
Yeah.
These can really add up. What is the situation like for HOAs in the Marion County area?
So excluding the 55 plus active adult, like retirement communities, because that's pretty much really a given, even though there's some that don't have it. But when you're talking about single family homes, those type of neighborhoods, there's not many. I would say maybe 15. If there were 20%, I would be shocked.
When you work with buyers and you start talking about what they can afford PITI, like what can they afford with their monthly payment, how do you help them decide what they should be paying and what they should be offering on houses to buy?
Well, first, of course, it's always getting qualified. So we'll send them over to Dallas and make sure that what they're thinking, we can make it a reality. And then, of course, they're going to love the home that usually it's so perfectly manicured and everything is absolutely perfect, and that's going to be an HOA. So we got to make sure that we can factor that in and they can afford it.
Is it just me, or is it when you look at a house and you have sort of a budget, like let's say my budget's $500,000, I'm always going to want a little bit more. Is that just is that like a mental problem for me or no?
No, you're normal.
So that's normal for everyone. Why is that? I can't figure this out.
I think as a human, we always want more. We always want what we can't have, maybe.
Well, what I love about you is, and what Elisha does for you guys is, you can use the QR code on the screen right now and sign up for her list, and she can send you properties throughout northern Florida as they come on the market. You can tell her kind of what you're looking for. And this is not just for buying a primary home for you and your family. This is for investment homes as well. I've seen people start their investment career. They can only afford to buy one house down here in the Orlando area. They could start with buying 2 in the Marion County area because it's so significantly less expensive to get involved there. You're happy to do it, right?
Absolutely, yes.
What about investing right now around this WEC area? I think it's such a great place for investing, especially with Airbnbs.
It still is. It continues to be a great place to invest. There was a little dip, I guess, and interest kind of went down in the beginning part of the year, but we're definitely seeing a huge increase in interest again.
You're doing great. The best in the business when it comes to Ocala real estate and really all of Northern Florida. Keep up the great work, Elisha.
Thank you.
Thank you to our amazing guest today and our awesome crew. Most importantly, thank you. See you again next week for more You Have Real Estate.
The proceeding was a paid advertisement. The views expressed were the sole responsibility of the advertiser.